Today on Playmakers, both the Kansas men's and women's basketball teams' seasons are right around the corner. The men's team, ranked number 1 in the AP preseason poll, is primed for another run at an NCAA title after exiting last year's tournament in the second round. The women's side, fresh off an NIT championship, is led by seasoned vets and a few key newcomers. Playmakers was live at the Big 12 Media Days in Kansas City to find out more about what you should be expecting from the squads this upcoming season. I'm Tyler DiDomenico, and welcome back to Playmakers, your 2023 Intramural Flag Football Champions. 'Hunter Dickinson is the biggest player, both in stature and notoriety, on this year's Kansas basketball squad. It only makes sense that the Jayhawks sent him, along with point guard DeJuan Harris and guard Kevin McCullough, to the Big 12 Media Day in Kansas City. Dickinson has already embraced his role at Kansas and caught the eye of many, hence his preseason award of Big 12 Player of the Year. The big man has also made it clear that he isn't afraid of the spotlight, providing quotes that showcase how much of a big-game player he is and how much he thrives off hostile environments. Bill Self also had high praise for the Michigan transfer, emphasizing the opinion that Dickinson was the best offensive center that he has ever coached. Playmakers caught up with the players and Self at Media Day in KC.
Basketball season is officially underway, and the ladies of Allen Fieldhouse couldn't be more excited. As the women reflected on a WNIT championship, starting center Tiana Jackson beamed with confidence about not only the Kansas defense, but also her own abilities in the paint.
I am leading a conference in blocks, and I have broke my block record twice, and I'm going to break it again. So, that's just something that when we play, when teams playing us, that they know that that's going to happen. Like, we have a rim protector that's always going to be in help, a rim protector that's always going to be there. So,
when it comes to basketball culture in Lawrence, passion and commitment are essential aspects that Kansas searches for in recruits. Guard Holly Kurzgeter described what makes this program so special to her.
I would say it's just our level, our faith and trust and our dedication to this program. It's unique. It's a family atmosphere. The way we really cherish basketball here and the things that we're really trying to accomplish, and it's evident, the progress we've made and things like that. I would just say, if you really want to be part of something that's going to challenge you mentally as well, it's going to be very worth it.
The women arrived to the Big 12 Media Days ranked 3rd in the preseason conference poll. However, for the men, this expectation is nothing new. Head coach Bill Self made it clear that with the injection of new transfers to the roster, this is just a new frontier on his journey as head coach.
I do think we have the pieces in place to give us great leadership, but we have 3 returnees and 6 newcomers. That's it. So with only 9 guys on scholarship that will play this year, because we still plan on redshirting Zach, it does leave a lot less margin for error as in years past.
One of those new additions is 7'2" center Hunter Dickinson. This season, we can expect Dickinson and DeJuan Harris to be a dynamic duo on the court. So far in preseason, Hunter has already learned a lot from DeJuan on orchestrating the point.
He's definitely, his vision on the court is insane, and so he's teaching me out there how to be a point guard. But he's obviously the leader of the team. He's what makes the team go, and just being able to play with him is such a blessing. Being able to be his teammate is something that I don't take for granted because he's the best point guard in the country in my opinion, and so
it's just another year.
It makes my job really easy for me.
For Playmakers, I'm Courtney Poston.
Thanks, guys. Wonderful stuff. Both teams sound like they are locked in for the start of what could be a couple of very special seasons. Next up, a look into the pro sports scene with some breaking news. The Las Vegas Aces are officially a dynasty. They are the first team to win back-to-back WNBA titles since the Los Angeles Sparks did it in 2001 and 2. Asia Wilson, supposed regular season MVP snub, looked the part last night. She scored 24 points and grabbed 16 rebounds, earning Finals MVP. Brianna Stewart, who won league MVP over Wilson, shot just 3 for 17 from the floor. Vegas relied heavily on its top six for the bulk of the season, and the results justified the approach. However, they closed out the title run without starting point guard Chelsea Gray and center Kia Stokes. The Aces only saw those absences as part of a long list of obstacles they had to overcome to win their second straight title. Moving from the court to the diamond, there has been a bit of controversy surrounding the MLB playoff format. Jaden has more on how it may have a negative impact on the better teams.
Today's game 4 and 5 of the MLB Championship Series are taking place. The remaining teams include the Astros and Rangers in the American League and the Phillies and Diamondbacks in the National League. If you followed Major League Baseball during the regular season, those 4 teams were likely not the ones you'd anticipate facing off for a pennant. The Braves, Dodgers, and Orioles, all who had 100-win seasons, were eliminated in the divisional round by wild-card winning teams. You may ask, what is the reason for these top regular season winners' early exits? This year marks the second season using the new MLB playoffs format. The new format includes 12 teams instead of the previous 10, with one more wildcard team in each league. With the new change, the 2 division winners with the best records get first-round byes and a week of rest. While a week of rest in preparation for the divisional round may seem like a net positive, some fans argue that it has the opposite effect. Baseball is a sport filled with tiny nuances, little traditions, and odd superstitions. After a long 162-game season, players become acquainted to the daily grind, and with 5 days off with no game action can throw off that cycle. Facing a team fresh off a wildcard win puts the higher seed on their heels. On the other hand, many fans say that the higher-ranked team should have come out on top regardless. After all, they proved their ability during the regular season. Dave Roberts, the manager at the Dodgers, said, "There are some things with the format that people can dissect or whatever, but the bottom line is that last 2 years, we've got outplayed in the postseason." The new playoff format emphasizes the sporadic nature of baseball and opens itself up to more shocking upsets. Fans on both sides of the argument will have to get used to the new playoffs as there is no change coming in the foreseeable future. Back to you, Tyler.
Thanks, Jaden. Next up, Richie sat down with MMA head coach Eric Nixick to see what it's like training championship-level fighters and helping coach one of the biggest upsets in UFC history.
Can you just talk about what it's like coaching guys like Aljamain Sterling, Paul Felder, Francis Ngannou, Sean Strickland, just to name a few? The list goes on. It's super impressive. So what's it like coaching guys of that high caliber?
In this sport, we have get-tos and got-tos, right? You get to coach Paul Felder, you get to coach Aljamain Sterling, and those are rewards, right? You get to coach these individuals. And then you have the got-tos, the ones that are like, oh, I don't really want to go there that day. And the goal is to have more get-tos than you have got-tos.
Right, so now going into the next fight that I want to talk about that just happened, one of the biggest UFC upsets ever, the Sean Strickland beating Israel Adesanya at UFC 293. Was there a moment during the fight where you're like, wow, this could really happen? Or was that something that had the entire camp, we can do this, Izzy's beatable, Sean?
All right, guys, bring it in. All right, and new on 3. 1, 2, 3, and new. I wanted everybody to feel that vibe that, so I truly believed it. Did I know it was going to be a tall task? Yeah, of course. At this level, any of these fights are. And if you overlook them, then yeah, you're probably going to get in trouble. But any fight that we're in, I feel like we have an opportunity to win. I don't care about the odds. I don't care about who we're fighting. I just know what we do in this room. For the fact that we even had that opportunity and we were prepared for that opportunity, every little thing you can imagine, and then the emotions, seeing Sean and just seeing how happy he was, and the one time you kind of seen him become a human being. I wish I would have celebrated a little bit more when Francis beat Stipe or when Francis beat Gon, and gone out and spent some time and celebrated. And so we all went to dinner. I took his belt with Danny, and me and Danny hit the town, went to some Irish bar with Sean's belt. And, I made Danny wear the belt in and take pictures and do everything else because it is an opportunity that you don't want to pass up because you just never know when you get a chance at it again.
That's fantastic stuff, Richie. Barry, I don't know about you, but my fantasy team is absolutely depleted right now. What can you tell us about the latest in the fantasy football world?
Thank you, Tyler. We're headed into week 7. We have some surprising names on the fantasy leaderboards. 2 quarterbacks drafted outside of the top 10 at their position have excelled as fantasy stars this season. First up is Tua Tagovailoa, who is currently QB3 after a hot start to the season. The whole Miami Dolphins offense has been spectacular, with Tyreek Hill leading all fantasy players in scoring and Raheem Mostert second in the running back ranks. Next up is Lions quarterback Jared Goff. Drafted anywhere from QB 17 to 20, Goff has exceeded expectations and is currently tied for the QB4 ranking with Patrick Mahomes. Any fantasy managers who rounded out their roster with Goff have to be thrilled with his start, except for Sydney Clark, however, who still has Goff on her bench. Moving from QBs to running backs, there have been no man better than San Francisco 49ers running back Christian McCaffrey. He's the definition of a Swiss Army knife, and he's been a big impact on that Niners offense, whether it's running or catching. In his recent game against the Browns, McCaffrey left the game early due to an oblique injury. Thankfully for CMC owners, his injury seems less serious than expected and will take the extra day off before suiting up on Monday. To wrap up this fantasy report, let's check in on the wide receiver rankings. Tyreek Hill is wide receiver 1, obviously, and Stephon Diggs is wide receiver 2. Looks normal, right? Until you realize that Adam Thielen is right behind them at number 3. Thielen is without a doubt the most surprising wideout atop the rankings through 6 weeks. He's had Bryce Young target him 13 or more times in 3 separate games this season. Thank you for tuning in to this week's Fantasy Report. Now, let's head back to Tyler.
Thanks, Barry. Time to start making some moves on the trading block. Up next, we have another star-studded edition of Roundtable with Reed. Stay tuned.
Back to Roundtable with Reed, and this week we're doing a little bit of a reflection. This is the same division winners PowerPoint we had way back in the start of September. We've got the same 2 guests, Jack Jackson and Lily Hennick. Let's get it started with the AFC West. We were unanimous back in September with the Kansas City Chiefs. That's holding true, right, Jack?
Yeah, I mean, this was pretty much a no-brainer. After that Week 1 loss to Detroit, the Kansas City Chiefs are back on track and they're rolling.
Yeah, and you expect them to, their division, the bottom of that division, other than the Chargers, kind of struggling right now. But in the South, you 2 went with Jacksonville. Lily, that's holding strong too right now, first place in the division.
Feeling pretty confident with that. They are 4-2, and Indianapolis Colts are right behind them, 3-3. So are the Houston Texans. Still a bit of a toss-up, but I still do feel confident in this Jaguars team.
This division, way more competitive than I thought it would be originally. This would maybe be a 2-team race between the Jags and the Titans, but C.J. Stroud and the Texans have definitely made that division interesting. To the AFC North, what is going on in the AFC North, Jack Jackson? Can you make sense of any of this?
I mean, I can't. I mean, everyone is pretty evenly matched in this division. The Bengals starting out 1-3. They're now back to 3-3, more on track, but the Ravens are the team to beat right now in that division.
So if you had to pick a division winner right now, Lily, who would you pick? Would you keep your pick with the Bengals, or would you switch to the Ravens?
I'm going to roll your Ravens ride. I do feel that they are taking this division away. I don't like the way that Joe Burrow is playing with his offense right now. I'm a little concerned about them. I'm going to be honest with you.
I'm also concerned about how no one is talking about the Steelers, and that's a perfect Mike Tomlin situation where they sneak in and make a little bit of noise. Maybe not the division, but maybe a wild card. And the AFC East, this division has been the most fun division to watch in football, with the Bills and the Dolphins and the Patriots being, back down to earth from what they were, a mythical dynasty for years and years. But Jack, the Bills holding strong, but you have the Dolphins. They're in first place. Tell me how you feel right now with the Miami Dolphins.
I mean, man, I feel really good about that offense. I said it earlier. I mean, they're a team where everyone was talking about the Bills and the Jets that they were going to get forgotten about, and they're playing like people forgot about them. They have a chip on their shoulder. They're going to be a tough team to beat the rest of the year.
But, Lily, counterpoint, our picks with the Bills, they beat the Dolphins.
They did.
If it comes down to a tiebreaker, and it's coming back to Western New York, so I think that everyone should feel in a good spot unless you're the Jets or the Patriots. They're not in a good spot.
Absolutely.
Let's flip it over to the NFC, the West. It was a foregone conclusion when we said it in September. It's a foregone conclusion right now, but is there a chance the Seattle Seahawks could make some noise in the NFC West?
You talk on that one.
I mean
no.
The only way that there is a chance is when it comes to the health of Deebo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey. How long are those guys going to be out? Because we saw when Brock Purdy didn't have the weapons that he usually had, he struggled against a tough Browns defense.
Keep in mind with Trent Williams, too, he is undergoing x-rays this week as well. To the NFC South, this is another division that makes absolutely no sense. Lily, can you make sense of anything in the NFC South? We all went with Saints, but it feels like any of the 4 teams could win that division except the Carolina Panthers. They're 0-6.
I agree. The Saints, they have their ups and downs. They look great some days, and then some days I'm just like, wow, you guys need to be at the bottom of the division. I mean, you got the Falcons up there 3-3 as well. I mean, this division is completely a toss-up.
Yeah,
that is
so
true.
They'll go 500.
That is true. Yeah. But I mean, Tampa Bay, Baker Mayfield, can he get the job done?
Mike Evans being as consistent as ever. That Tampa Bay team is dangerous too. To the NFC North, everyone's got to give Lily Henniker flowers with picking the Detroit Lions. They sit at the top of the division. How are you feeling right now with your Detroit pick? Other than amazing.
Honestly, I feel great. Their statement win against the Chiefs beginning of the season, that was huge. Opening win away at the Chiefs. I like this. I'm feeling very, very good about my Detroit Lions right now.
The main thing about the Lions is they continue to get it done on the road, and that's been their big thing. To the NFC East. Now, here's a fun nugget. Yes, I picked the Dallas Cowboys. Yes, they are not in first place, but there has not been a repeated division winner in the NFC East in 14 years. And, of course, Philly won it last year. So tell me why Dallas can't win it. But in that same argument, Jack, tell me why Philly should win it this year again.
I mean, the Philadelphia Eagles look amazing. They look just like they did last year. They're going to be a tough team to beat. And why not this year? Why is this year not the year where the first time where a team wins that division back-to-back years?
Obviously, it looks like these guys and these guys might meet each other, but maybe Detroit don't
forget about those guys. Don't forget about those guys.
This is a great reflection session. We had to circle back on some takes, give Lily your flowers. This is going to be a great rest of the NFL season. I'm looking very much forward to it. Thank you guys for joining Roundtable with Reed. We will see you next time.
Added new ones. And then let's follow up with Bearcat. Yeah.
Oh, I remember that one.
R red.
So if we score, what's the strategy?
She's
You just mansplaining right now?
the whole day.
Totally just mansplaining.
Thanks, man.
You guys want $5 to swim?
No.
No.
All
right, go over there. Go over there.
Did I just pay him $5? Maybe. All right, it's personal. All right, hey, it's personal. Hey, it's personal on 3. 1, 2, 3. Personal.
Oh, behind me. Keep going, Richie. Keep going, man. Keep going, man. Keep going. I got a lateral if you want it.
He has him. Come on! Let's go. I taught him how to do that. Oh, he's like a lanky giraffe when he runs.
I can't believe Travis Hunter does this in real college football.
Can I get a PI? Can I get a PI, Braden? Here. You need these? You need these? Got him! Bang! Get up here. Get up here with me. Meet me up here. Come on. Screwed up, you know. It's exactly what we did in walkthroughs. So, I'm a proud coach right now, but now, defense is our problem. Fired the DC last week. That's why Barry's not here.
Behind me. Oh, he picked it off. He's thrown 3 picks and ripped his pants. All in 5 minutes.
I love the kid, but he's too much like Dak. He gives me hope, but he absolutely throws it away. We might need to make a change at quarterback.
Bit by bit. Hey, Rome wasn't built in a day. It was built faster than this, but.
Strap. Seatbelt. God, they put him on child lock.
Oh, he screened us. And they screened themselves.
Hey, kid. Hey, come here. You played a hell of a game. I love you, okay? You played a hell of a game. We came out here, it was personal. They had our number a couple times, but like I said before the game, I said, tonight's our time. They'll beat us 9 times out of 10, but not tonight.
Blitzing by 3 touchdowns.
Not tonight.
We ain't forget.
It's personal. Shador.
What the watch say? What the watch say?
Now that is the funniest thing I've seen all week. Next up, Chad has a film breakdown on the MLB playoffs.
Thanks, Tyler. For today's film breakdown, we're breaking down some MLB postseason action. We've got Aaron Nola in inning 6 of his masterful outing, got the dub against the Diamondbacks in the NLCS, getting the Phillies one step closer. Let's see how he did it. First off, we're going to watch these first 2 pitches as it comes by. We have a foul and then drops the hammer on the knuckle curve and gets a strikeout. So we're going to analyze this whole at-bat and see why Aaron Nola was so effective at getting that last knuckle curve to fool Christian Walker. First thing we're going to look at for these first 3 pitches is Aaron Nola's arm slot. See here how Aaron Nola has a very low 3/4 arm slot, What that does with his fastball, even though he doesn't throw very hard, it generates a lot of spin, and it gives the effect as a hitter that the ball is rising through the zone. So his fastball has a lot of life. We're going to watch these first couple pitches here. He goes high fastball there and goes and gets the call on this knuckle curve on the inside right there. Okay, so now we're 0-2. Nola is entirely in control of the at-bat. Now we can kind of start to fool around and toy with the batter. So what he's going to do is he's going to start to pepper the top of the zone. So he goes fastball right there, follows up with another high fastball, and now before we get to one of the consequential pitches of the at-bat, what he's doing there is as a hitter, you're watching the ball come out of the pitcher's hand. If you keep on seeing high fastball, high fastball, high fastball, as a hitter, you start to forget where the bottom of the zone is. You start to forget that from your knees to the middle of your chest also counts as a strike. So he's programming Walker to keep watching that high fastball as it comes out. So let's watch this next pitch right here. This is one of the best pitches of the whole entire at-bat. Comes through, dots up the corner, gets lucky to drop off and get the foul right there, and then comes in. He's gone high, 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 gets a strikeout on the curveball. So this right here is a prime example of what we're talking about. See right here how these two pitches halfway to home plate look like they're coming at the exact same level. Walker's been watching the top of that zone, and now he's stuck on this pitch. However, after this comes through, the pitches drop at entirely different levels, and that's what gives the effect of a professional baseball player that gets paid millions of dollars to do what he does to look that foolish. So thank you for watching this film breakdown. Hopefully the Phillies make their way to the World Series for back-to-back years and come out on top. Tyler, back to you.
Thanks, Chad. Very interesting stuff. A fresh NBA season is upon us, and what better way to celebrate than with some trivia? Luke, take it away.
Thanks, Tyler. Today, I'm going to be taking a shot at the Playmakers Trivia. Today, we're doing NBA championships, and we're going to see how many I can do in 2 minutes. All right, let's see. 2023, we've got the Nuggets. 2022, going with the Warriors. 2021, that was Giannis and the Bucks. There we go. Okay, 2020. That was the bubble year, so LeBron's Lakers. 2019 with the Warriors. Let's see. Oh, that was Kawhi and the Raptors. Let's see. 2018, we had the Cavs, so that's going to be the Warriors, of course. 2017 again, going with the Warriors. 2016, I'm pretty sure this was blocked by James, so I'm going with the Cavs. Let's see. 2015, we had the Warriors again. 2014, Miami Heat. This was, I think, was this Timmy? Yep. Okay, 2013. I'm going to go with Miami Heat. Let's see. Yep. Okay, 2012. I'm not sure about this one. Let's see. What about 2012? Was it the Spurs again? No, not the Spurs. Let's see. Let me go to 2008. I know that's the Celtics. 2007. I'm going to go with Miami Heat. No. Was it the Spurs? Yep, the Spurs. 2011. I know that's the Mavs. Come on, got to give some respect to Dirk. Let's see. 2010. 2010 was this Miami Heat? No. Let's see. 2006, give me the Lakers. Nope. Oh, that was the Heat though. Yes, okay. 2005, give me the Lakers. Nope. 2004, birth year, that was the Pistons. All right, well, let's see. I got 16 in 2 minutes. Thanks, guys. Back to you, Tyler.
All for this week's edition of Playmakers. Be sure to follow us on social media at PlaymakersKU, where you can find all of our content on the sports world as we see it. And remember, it's not about the game you played, but the plays you made. Rock chalk, and see you next time.